tactic is an unbelievable tactic. It is the Witch King inspired by the Lord of the Rings films and one of my favourite characters in the film, the Witch King of Angmar. This tactic has been tested out with an elite team, and kicking it off it was Manchester City. They were the elite team that Gary, my follower, sent this tactic in, and thanks to Gary for sending in a lot of this stuff. He's very, very good at making tactics, and this one is one of the best that he has made so far. It turned Erling Haaland into the robot we know he is in real life. He's got 42 Premier League goals with Manchester City, an average rating of 8.04 and 16 assists from De Bruyne. Only losing 4 games, 88 plus goal difference, and nearly getting 100 points in the Premier League. Looking at the squad, it's full of goals. As I said, Haaland, 68 goals in all competitions. You've got Phil Foden on 23 goals, Alvarez on 16, De Bruyne on 14, and the assists are there as well. A lot of players are getting a lot of assists. De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker, Haaland himself, and most surprisingly, Akanji and Josko Guardiola are also getting in on the assists and the goals as well. It's an unbelievable attacking tactic, but we did test it with 2 other teams as well. And if you like tactics videos, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel because we have plenty of tactics coming and plenty of tactics that you can also use already. We also tested it out with Darmstadt in the Bundesliga, a team that are perennial relegation fighters, and we managed to finish 10th in the Bundesliga in the first season, only 6 points off of Bayer Leverkusen and European football, which is an unbelievable achievement with this tactic. Normally they get relegated and they are tipped for relegation, but we've turned them into a solid mid-table Bundesliga side. The final test was in Serie B with Lecco, a small side in Serie B, and we managed to finish 5th in Serie B, only a point off of the playoffs and behind teams like Palermo and Sampdoria, who are much bigger sides, finishing above big teams like Parma, Sutradol and Venezia as well. This tactic can do it at elite level, mid-level and at lower league level as well. It is the trifecta of a tactic. Now, let's get into the actual tactic itself. It is by no surprise that this tactic is an attacking tactic with all those goals that you've seen scored. It's particularly at Manchester City with Erling Haaland getting 68 goals in all competitions. It is a Football Manager 2024 fans' favourite asymmetrical tactic. They are the most overpowered tactics on Football Manager 24 this year. And we kick it off with a sweeper keeper in goal with take more risks, 2 wing backs on attack with take more risks, cross left often, dribble more, sit narrower and tackle harder, with both wing backs are on the exact same instructions. 2 ball playing defenders, dribble more and tackle harder as well. 1 DM on defend on take fewer risks and tackle harder. And one of my favourite rules this year in FM24 is the secundo volante, and it is a secundo volante on attack, move into channels and tackle harder. A standard central midfield player on attack with tackle harder. Central midfield players are very, very key this season. Like, they've done so well on FM24. A lot of overpowered tactics have just a standard CM, which is new to FM24. The shadow strikers, he's on just the standard instructions on attack, and 2 advanced forwards on tackle harder, and that's where you're going to get your goals are from these advanced forwards. In possession, it is a fairly wide tactic with pass into space, short direct passing, high tempo, don't waste time and run at the defense with low crosses. In transition, it's counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. Out of possession, here is the defensive shape. It is a higher defensive line, so be careful when you're playing against teams with a lot of pace. You will need to drop back that defensive line a fair bit so you are not caught out with balls over the top of your centre-backs. If you haven't got pacey centre-backs as well, you will need pacey centre-backs for this tactic to work at its absolute best. And you've got trigger press much more often, hence the intensity of this tactic. So when you're playing this tactic in your saves, make sure you're giving your players plenty of rest in training because they could get burnt out quite quickly. But it is get stuck in and step up more. So it's a very aggressive tactic that bullies teams, that wins everything, that scores on so many goals and makes Football Manager 2024 so much fun to play. And if you like tactics videos, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.